emoji.
That's right. Smiley face emoji. I could never feel it more. Before we get into anything else, hot take. The live action Storage Wars style announcement of this expansion is the single greatest live action announcement that Team 5 has ever pulled off. And that is a tall freaking order.
I cannot argue with any of that. Honestly, smiley face emoji might be my favorite thing of all time.
Yeah, and
just of all things of all times forever, smiley face emoji.
I think Hadija turning into a demon hunter is my favorite thing ever, and also just the giving themselves to emo jokes. There's just so everything about this was definitely my sense of humor, and so thank you, and also curse you, David Kosak, because I'm going to have to listen to Jocelyn use smiley face emoji unironically as a response to things from now on. So
I mean, I've already started writing things out. Like when I hashtag things, I'll like actually write out hashtag, or like I will write out my emojis, but I haven't actually graduated to the point of saying them out loud. And now that Dave has done it, I feel like I'm validated and I'm seen and I can start talking like this, and I can't thank him enough.
I love chat room right now. I think Hula Gaming says, I love how excited Garrett is pretending to be since he's known for quite some time. No, this is legitimate excitement because now I just get to talk openly and don't need to worry about breaching NDA and getting this show no more access to anything ever for the rest of its existence. AKA pulling a polygon.
I was wondering if we were going to mention that, man. Oh.
Hey, Polygon, I'm more professional than you, and I'm an independent Florida man trying not to get eaten by gators on a daily basis. Ha!
Yeah, you're a bunch of dicks.
Also, I used to love your website, but half of your articles have nothing to do with video games anymore. Please address. Anyways, actually still read Polygon a lot. There's so much I don't even know where to start. We decided to start with the new class because it was something that we have been told many times by multiple members of the Hearthstone team was never going to happen. So we are getting a new class. It is the Demon Hunter. Illidan will be the portrait for that new class.
Those teeth, man, like he is enraged.
It feels so good to say it. It feels so good to say it out loud, Jocelyn. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So good. So freaking good. You might be wondering at home, probably not, because if you're listening to this, I have a feeling you're already up to date, but you're kind of curious what our hot take is, but we're still going to inform you nonetheless what the hero power is for Demon Hunters, and it's called Demon Claws. It's going to cost you 1 mana. They're breaking their own rule. It's going to cost you 1 mana, and you gain +1 attack this turn. Now, Jocelyn, I've already heard people say that this is a little on the underwhelming side, and I say, go look at the cards.
Yeah, so my first immediate reaction was 1 mana, WTF. Like, why is this happening? This doesn't make any sense. This isn't how these things are supposed to work. Hero powers have a cost, and that cost is 2. So
we live in a society, and apparently Demon Hunters do not.
Apparently, I was so thrown by this 1 mana hero power. I didn't even kind of wrap my head around the balance or any of it. I was just like, they're breaking too many rules. I understand you want to live outside the box now, Hearthstone, and you're doing things to experiment and everything else, but hero power costs are sacred.
they are sacred. I talked to a few people about this at the summit, and the thing I kept hearing was that they struggled with 2 mana for a while and it just kind of felt that it was arbitrary, and they figured, well, can it be 1? Is there any real reason we can't make a 1 mana hero power? And they decided that no. It's
gonna hurt my brain. That's why you can't do 1 mana hero powers, because it just ruins my head. I don't care. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm super happy that they did this because, I mean, we've had this conversation on the show so many times. Please don't follow arbitrary rules just because it's the way you've always done it. But the fact that, like, this feels so core to the game, and they were just like, you know what? Let's just change it. I feel like this hero power, it may not seem like a big deal, but it kind of just encapsulates the way that the Hearthstone team seems to be operating these days, and I love it. It's like, well, it's always been that way. So?
Yeah, why?
Moving on, we're doing it differently. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna sound like a shill, but like I really agree with them. I 100%. Like, why? Why? I love asking that question of anyone. I liked it when I was a kid, annoying the living crap out of my parents. I like it when I'm getting my speeding ticket increased in cost when I'm asking the cop why they have to write that ticket for me, and I love it now. I love asking why because I don't like arbitrary rules, and I love breaking arbitrary rules, and that's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah. So in terms of the actual hero power itself, I think it makes a lot of sense. And at 1 mana, it's kind of in line with the most obvious comparison, right? Which is Rogue. Like Rogue, you get technically it's a weapon. This is like a hero buff, but it's like with Rogue, you pay 2 mana and then your hero gets 1 attack over 2 turns. Here, you're paying 1 mana each turn, so a total of 2 mana to do essentially the same thing, except again, it's not an actual weapon. So, like, you can't like buff Illidan's hero power with traditional weapon type things unless, well, you kind of like you have to play a weapon card. It itself is not a weapon to be buffed by like green skin.
Yeah. I mean, it shares things with Rogue, with Mage, with Druid. Like all three of those popped immediately into my brain. Obviously, there's differences.
Yeah, like Druid, you're paying that extra mana to have that armor, right? Mm-hmm. So it's all kind of, like at 1 mana, this makes sense. And I wouldn't want it to see like 2 mana for like 2 attack or something. That would seem too powerful. And like, I mean, you'd be using your face, but I don't know. 1 mana, 1 attack seems to make sense from a balance perspective for me anyways, with all of my game design experience.
I will say it made, I got the log. I think I played like 10 games of Demon Hunter while I was out at the summit, and it makes the game, it feels surprisingly different than any other class in the game. There's something about you just weaving this in like almost a closest way I can feel, or I can kind of explain it, is like it feels like a proactive quest druid. It's like the opposite of it, because with quest druid you're thinking about leaving that 1 extra mana up, right? But this is like, I have 1 extra, because so often in Hearthstone when you have that 1 extra mana, what the hell am I gonna do with it? Unless I've got like a mortal coil or something, right? But here there's always something you can do, and the fact that for basically 7 years now, if you've been playing since beta, we've been having to pay 2 mana for our hero power. Suddenly not having to do that, it out the gate makes it feel drastically different. But also, the other 9 heroes still have 2 mana hero power. So, like, for its existence, Demon Hunter there's just going to be a little subtle thing always there for Demon Hunter that makes it feel different and stand out against the other classes, even though the hero power feels familiar. Mm-hmm. And it's because of the way that this affects the economy of your mana, and I really dig it. So I'm a fan. I was really hesitant when I first learned about this, and when I got my hands on it, I was converted. I had some apprehension when they threw this up on the screen too, but then when I got to go play around with it, I was like, oh, this totally, it feels Demon Hunter-y, because you're always attacking something. It doesn't have to be face. You can use this for control reasons, and it feels like a Demon Hunter. I really feel at the top here, and hopefully I won't repeat this a million times over the course of the episode as we talk about Demon Hunter cards, that they have landed on the flurry feeling of playing a Demon Hunter. That's kind of what I walked away with when I got to test pilot it. So let's move on to other things that make Demon Hunter unique, including a class-specific keyword, which is Outcast. I love the ridiculous, like, emo sad boy reason given for this. Like, Demon Hunters live on the edges of society, and they're shunned by their loved ones. Well, how does that play into Outcast? Well, we called it Outcast because mechanically, if you play a card from the right or leftmost position in your hand, it does something cool. Like, it's like such a cold and calculated mechanical Hearthstone thing, and they layered so much flavor of emo ridiculousness into their explanation of the keyword. But yeah, Outcast is a new keyword where if you play a card and it's the leftmost in your hand or the rightmost in your hand, something good happens for you, and usually something bad for your opponent. And we got quite a few examples of it here. The first is Consume Magic, a 1-mana common Demon Hunter spell that reads Silence an enemy minion, Outcast, draw a card. So you could just play this and silence an enemy minion for one mana, but if it's to the right, or if it's rightmost or leftmost, you also draw a card, which takes this from a card I am not interested in really at all to a card I am quite interested in.
Yep, same. Card draw. I mean, and not to mention that, but this is also quite a cheap cost, right? So if you're hanging on to it for a long time and then you're waiting for the perfect target, it's just sitting there in your hand and you don't have to worry necessarily about like weaving it into your turn. It's not going to have that big of an impact, and you can kind of play it whenever. Same thing if you top deck this thing. It's like, okay, well, what's the first thing I'm going to do? Silence something and also draw a card at the same time. Like this seems really interesting.
Yeah. We also got to look at the Illidari Fellblade, a 4-mana 5.
This seems freaking broken.
It's good. It's good. It's a 4-mana 5/3 rare Demon Hunter minion with Rush. Outcast, gain immune this turn.
Yeah, so 4-mana 5/3 rushing that doesn't die when it hits something, which it should die. It only has 3 health. It should, by all intents and purposes, should die. But no, if it's has no friends, then it stands alone. Oh man.
Yeah, it's essentially like, would you play a spell that was like 5 damage to a minion, spawn a 5/3?
For 4.
But it has to be in your right or leftmost to get that effect. Like, yeah, I would play
basically to get the 5/3 minion.
Exactly. I would play the hell out of that card. And I play quite a bit with this card. It's good. It's as good as it sounds. Can confirm. It works. This just freaking works. And then we also saw I-Beam. We were not going to make it out of Demon Hunter without getting a look at I-Beam. It's a 3-mana epic Demon Hunter card with lifesteal, deal 3 damage to a minion. Outcast. This card costs 0. This is also even better than it may initially appear, because free or cheap cards in Demon Hunter enables Outcast, because it means you can get it out of the left or rightmost area of your hand and trigger the Outcast on whatever is behind that card if it happens to fall next in line, which was something I noticed time and time over while I was piloting cool-ass Demon Hunter decks. It's so good. There's just a feeling...
So these 3 cards, come from the basic set, right? Like these cards are the same as like mages, like fireballs?
Yes. So Demon Hunter is getting 10 basic cards and a 20-card Demon Hunter set, like all as part of the starter package. And when you unlock the Demon Hunter, they're adding a single-player experience that kind of takes you through Illidan's story, which will unlock the class once you complete it. You're going to get all 30 of those cards. So every card we just talked about, actually, these are all from the Demon Hunter set because they have the little Demon Hunter watermark on them.
Okay. Yeah. So it is kind of like its own little set. Like they didn't. Okay.
The vibe I was getting, because I was asking folks about it, I'm like, is this classic set? Because I noticed very quickly when I was going through the collection manager, like some were clearly basic because they have the basic watermark or lack thereof. And then some had this watermark, which is different from the expansion's watermark. I said, hey, what is this? Is this classic set? And they're like, well, it's the Demon Hunter set. And the vibe I got was, we'll see what happens with this set.
Okay.
It seemed like they
apparently Celestalon is in our chat room.
Oh, the initiate
and
set.
Says, yeah, it's an initiate set that counts as Year of the Dragon for rotational purposes, which is kind of interesting that it's not Year of the Phoenix for rotational purposes. But I guess Year of the Phoenix, you're getting 15 additional Demon Hunter cards per expansion, right? So Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Oh man, Lynn's is in here too. Can we get Dave Kosak, Hadija? Anyone else want to come hang out?
Yeah.
Anyone else want to come hang out? Thanks for hanging out, guys. Yeah. Now I do remember that. I was very bad at taking notes at the summit. I apologize. I was too busy going, ooh, what's this do? Ooh, what's that do? That was me. Yeah. So yeah, you're gonna get all those 30 cards, which is gonna,
free
help.
Too.
Yes,
we should mention
the Demon Hunter is free to everyone. You just have to play through the single player mode, unlock the Demon Hunter, you get the 30 card set, you're good to go.
Which, can we just take a second to throw a little bit of shade at Warcraft, because the intro campaign for the single player is going to tell Illidan's story from his perspective, which is basically what the novel was leading into the Legion expansion. So Hearthstone has now told more of Illidan's story in game than Warcraft did. Just saying.
if you don't like Warcraft books, I like Warcraft books, so I'm okay with that. But
it's not in game. Hearthstone is committed to Illidan and his story.
By the way, Joss, I'm gonna tack it on to the end of this episode. See what I did there? Tack it on. But I got to sit down with. I'm already forgetting names. No.
Oh, Garrett, you should have written it down.
So there were some hints, and it was Valerie Chu and Liv Breeden. I got to sit down with Valerie Chu and Liv Breeden at the summit, and that interview is already up over on YouTube at the time of saying this. So go to youtube.com/HeyMoveTV right now and go watch it. Please watch it. Even if you hear it on the podcast, please watch it, because I spent like 4 hours editing this damn thing. So please go watch the video version. But they talk about how Illidan is not the most reliable of narrators, and he may be a little biased as to his own story. So this may not be this may not be the canonical take on Illidan's journey, which if past Hearthstone writing is any indication, I'm really excited to see how ridiculous that gets. So yeah. But let's keep checking right along, because we have a lot more of the initiate and the base set of Demon Hunter cards to talk about. I'm not going to talk about all of them, because we have so many things to talk about today that it would just be impossible. But I do want to bring everyone's attention to token synergy that exists within Demon Hunter and the hero power synergy. But I want to start with tokens, because I loved this archetype when I played it. And also, if nothing else, I think if you were even like kind of half paying attention to all the Demon Hunter cards that they saw, you would look at Wrathscale Naga and go, oh, okay, I'm paying attention now. And that's because Wrathscale Naga is a 3-mana, 3/1 epic Demon Hunter minion, part of the Initiate set, that reads, after a friendly minion dies, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. So if you've been playing Battlegrounds, you are very familiar with the way that this mechanic works. And there's a lot of tokens spawning cards within Demon Hunter, like Command the Illidari, a 5-mana common spell that reads, summon 6 1/1 Illidari with Rush. 6 1/1s for 5 mana that can attack this turn if there are minions on the board, enemy minions. So imagine Wrathscale Naga's on board, you play Command the Illidari. You're thinking, oh, my 1/1s aren't going to actually trade. Well, it doesn't matter, because 3 random damage is hitting enemies, and you're probably doing some damage. You might even get lethal, because it could possibly, Wrathscale Naga's 3 random damage could possibly go face.
Yeah, this seems so strong, and I'm on the fence about whether or not I actually like this, for all the reasons that I get frustrated in Battlegrounds and have been frustrated in Hearthstone since the get-go with Knife Juggler. Because it's like, you're always going to want it to go somewhere. So someone's always going to be disappointed. Like, either me on the receiving end, I'm going to be like, don't hit that. And then, of course, it hits that. Or me on the giving end of all these juggles, I'm going to be like, yes, okay, hit him in the face one more time and I get lethal. Otherwise, I die. And then it doesn't happen. I mean, I'm on the fence about just juggling effects in general, because I feel like they just feel bad a lot of the time. So I'm so on the fence of how I feel about this, because I think it's going to be really powerful. And it's not even friendly demons. It's not even like friendly if they had given the Illidari like their own tribe or anything like that. it's just literally friendly minions. So it's anything you've got on your board. You don't even have to play with these rushing 1/1s. Like you can, it's powerful, but you can create tokens in any of the other ways in the game there are to create tokens, and the Naga is going to start sniping. So this seems like woohoo.
I have made peace with everything that bothers you that you just mentioned. I rather like juggler comps and battlegrounds, and frankly, I just haven't seen that much knife juggler to remind me of how bad it feels when knife juggler doesn't work out on either end. Either when I'm playing him and it doesn't do what I want it to do, or when I'm going against one and it doesn't do what I want it to do. I was just kind of made peace with that because to me it just feels powerful, and I like, or at least it has the potential to make me feel powerful, and that's enough for me. I think at a certain point. But yeah. Anyways, a couple more token cards I wanted to mention. There are more than what I'm mentioning here, but I did want to highlight Umberwing, a 2-mana, 1-attack, 2 durability weapon with a battle cry that summons 2 1/1 Fell Wings. So it's another way to get tokens out onto the board. And you might be thinking,
but they're not rushing. They're 2 1/1s that just show up.
Yeah. You might be thinking though, like, oh, 1/2 weapons not that well, but you can add attack onto this weapon with your 1-mana hero power. That's also another thing to keep in the back of your mind for any Demon Hunter weapons you see. And then finally, actually, I think the reason you should be excited about tokens and not Rascal Naga is Feast of Souls, a 2-mana spell for Demon Hunters that reads, draw a card for each friendly minion that died this turn. Ooh, shudder.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I mean, altogether, like if we're looking at like Feast of Souls combined with Naga combined with Command the Illidari, like that's a 10-mana combo across 3 cards. Like, and there has to be enough on the board to actually kill all your 1/1s, which there might not be with all of your 3 damage juggles that you're going to be doing. So, I mean, it's big, it's powerful, but it's also expensive. So I'm kind of okay with this combo existing because I don't think we're going to see it too often. But yeah, all of these pieces together, just like it seems like a really, really powerful, kind of cool build.
Yeah, there's also a 3-mana spell that summons 3 1/1s with Rush. So if you need less mana,
that's true. Yeah,
for your Rascal Naga plays, it exists. It exists.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also I wanted to talk about minions and cards that synergize with your hero power. So I want to start with Glaive-bound Adept. It's a 5-mana 7/4 with a battle cry that reads, if your hero attacked this turn, deal 4 damage. 4 targeted damage. Where you want it to go, that's where it's going. Unless you're stealth or evasive. Or wait, that's evasive.
Is that a keyword yet?
No, it's not. No.
No.
Still not. We also got a twin spell. It doesn't say twin spell in this set, but we're not going to talk about that today.
Well, I think the whole idea of the twin spell is not a twin spell. Excuse me, because twin spells was an expansion specific keyword, right? So
that's it, but we're breaking rules, and also that's dumb.
And I guess discover is also a thing. So
yes. But Glaive-bound Adept, strong card. Also, 7/4 for 5. Can we just talk about that on top of this? Your hero probably attacked this turn. Like, what does it ask of you? Have 1 extra mana.
Yeah.
1 extra mana to get the upside of this battle cry. That is good. Satyr Overseer is a 3-mana 4/2 demon that reads, after your hero attacks, summon a 2/2 Satyr. So this could actually potentially go in your token deck, because it's also making a token. But
it is making tokens, yeah.
It has a trigger based off of hero attacking. You have Blur, a 0-mana spell for Demon Hunters that reads, your hero can't take damage this turn. So if you really want to get super aggressive, you can. Also, there's a little bit of lifesteal in Demon Hunter as well. And then finally, Blade Dance, a 2-mana spell that reads, deal damage equal to your hero's attack to 3 random enemy minions. And it's only random if there's more than 3.
That is true. So, I mean, combined with your hero power, this is just like arcane explosion almost, but it can ramp up to, man, just so much. I feel like there were just so many ways to like there's Demon Hunter weapons, the hero power just like increases that attack. Like it seemed like there were a lot of ways to increase the attack of your heroes. So I feel like Blade Dance is going to be fairly efficient removal, especially in the early game.
I overall just felt like I was cheating while I was playing the Demon Hunter. No, I'm serious. Like between like Outcast and the efficiency of the cost of the hero power, even though it only does 1 damage, what it empowers through synergy cards can get out of hand very quickly. There's God, it's really cool. It's really freaking cool. It has an air of Rogue, but it feels all its own.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed.
I mean, with the token stuff, I even get shades of Druid. Like, I mean, they've kind of combined a lot of things from other classes in a way that makes Demon Hunter feel unique, which I think is really cool. I'm also pretty stoked because, I mean, we never got actual, like, a Death Knight, like, hero class when Frozen Throne came out. We had hero cards, but they weren't their own class. And I think this kind of potentially opens the door for new heroes, which is something that we thought became less and less likely as Hearthstone kind of matured, because it was like, well, if we're going to be bringing in a new hero, what does that even look like? How many cards do we have to give them? You know, are we going to go back and edit all the sets to put their flavor cards in there as well? Like, we had so many questions. And I think now that we actually know what that looks like, I think it kind of opens the door for future potential in terms of adding different classes. And I think the design of Demon Hunter shows that they can make something feel unique within the Hearthstone universe, which just shows a huge amount of creativity, because I didn't really think that they were going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. It wasn't even on my radar. Like I was certain we were just like not going to get an extra hero. And so, yeah, like I said, when they first announced it, I'm like, oh, cool. And then they showed the hero power and I was like, it's all right. And then I played it and I was like, never mind, it's great. It was like I went on this roller coaster along the way. So I'm legitimately excited for it. And I'm saying this as someone who has been like, had his soul stolen by Battlegrounds. So I'm really excited to play Demon Hunter. We're going to have more Demon Hunter cards to talk about when we get to the actual expansion, because Demon Hunters are also getting cards in the expansion.